Hey guys, SweetBananaGaming here, coach of your Orlando Solgaleo, here with our PGBL Season 4 Week 5 Team Builder. So this week we are up against the Scandinavian Stoutlands, coached by Skyrander, and if you get a good look at this team here, you'll see it's quite the intimidating draft. As a matter of fact, when I talked to Hero and Frenzy about building for this team, they were actually both kind of stumped for a while, and you know it's bad when Frenzy is stumped, because I've never seen him unsure about anything before, pretty much. But they helped me put together this team. We're going to take a look at what it goes up against. This week has been interesting for me. I've had a busy week. I went to a job fair. I had to have a little operation, so this week I'm going in with very few expectations this week based on the difficulty of the team. I know Skyrander's pretty good from my experience watching him play, and facing him, I forget whether it was last time I was in PGBL or whether it was in UBL. Either way, he's a good player with a good draft, so we're just going to do our best and see how it goes. Also, if my voice sounds weird at all, I don't know, I've been a little, my throat's been a little agitated since the operation. It's feeling much better, but I feel like I might sound a little weird. But we're just gonna go over this team real quick. I don't have Frenzy's notes with me on like what all the sets are for. I did take a quick look at the damage calcs, and I got kind of a general idea what everything is for, like fresh in my mind. So we'll go over that. Big threats on this team, of course, Victini, Haxorus, Mamoswine's pretty threatening. Galvantula, one of the few Pokemon that I wanted on my draft that I was not able to get because it got taken from me. So that's where Galvantula went. The Gigalith and Stoutland and Mamoswine, I guess, to some extent. That kind of synergy there, potentially, could be scary. I mean, Stoutland is not the most versatile Pokemon, but it's pretty strong. It could be a pretty big threat no matter what. And again, paired with Sand could be even more intimidating. Mega Heracross is, of course, very tough. A lot of physical attackers going on here. Victini and Crobat are the Z users. A Crobat, I'm assuming, could have like a Z Brave Bird. Victini could throw out like a Z V-Create there. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at what everything on my team is here and how it's built. The team, as far as I can see going over the stats and everything and the sets, for the most part, it's more of an offensive. The spreads aren't entirely offensive, but it's more of a frontal assault, as it were. There's not so much of walls to swap into. I do have a couple of walls, but as you can see, the sets are built fairly, well, I mean, kind of mixed. I mean, Frenzy did the spreads fairly mixed, but the Pokemon themselves are more offensive. Like, you're going to see Tangrowth's not here, Bronzong's not here, so my typical wall Pokemon are not here. But let's take a look. Let's start with Cloyster. Cloyster actually, once boosted by Shell Smash, Cloyster does some serious damage with this set. As a matter of fact, other than the Pokemon that resist attacks, like say Empoleon resists everything I have. I forget what else. Like other than like Empoleon, and there was like one other. It might have been Mismagius. But basically, other than Pokemon that resist what I have, once I'm boosted with Shell Smash, Cloyster more or less one-shots everything, and also, I think, outspeeds everything. Definitely everything that's not Scarfed. I mean, that's basically the set, but we have, what are the EV spreads here? 100 in HP, 204 in attack, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense, 196 in speed with a Jolly Nature. White Herb, of course, Icicle Crash, Rock Blast, Shell Smash, and Spikes. But yeah, I was doing the calcs and I'm like, dang. I mean, it depends on the sets on everything. That's like assuming that nothing maybe is max defense and max HP, which of course could happen. I mean, like Gigalith or something. But if everything's running like a mixed spread, a +2 Icicle Crash or Rock Blast, depending on who I'm fighting, either one-shots, or if they've already taken damage due to rocks or spikes or any other kind of chip damage, then it one-shots, you know, from there. So, I mean, Cloister, other than having spikes, like, spikes are the kind of thing you might want to set up early, but other than spikes, I think, Cloister's just going to want to sit in the back and be a late-game sweeper. Pretty much what it's there for. It can live, it can't live one hit to Galvantula, but I believe it can live any other non-boosted hit from anything else, as far as I've calculated. So that's good. While I'm on the topic of spikes, his hazard control, he's got Defog from Crobat, Empoleon, Whimsicott, and Stealth Rock from Empoleon, Gigalith, and Mamoswine, potentially, and then Sticky Web from Galvantula, of course. Mismagius has Heal Bell, no Wish Passers. Priority we have Empoleon, Aqua Jet. Mega Heracross gets Faint, which I highly doubt it would use a move slot on. Mamoswine, of course, gets Ice Shard. Crobat gets Quick Attack. Victini gets Quick Attack. Mismagius gets Shadow Sneak. Probably wouldn't use. Galvantula gets Sucker Punch. Probably wouldn't use, but hey, you never know. And then, Mismagius gets Sucker Punch. Heracross, Mega Heracross gets Vacuum Wave. Probably won't use it, but hey, I figure I'll bring it up. You never know. It's those sets that you don't expect that sometimes throw you off pretty bad. So, we're gonna go back, and let's see. Alright, I ran down that line. So, but anyway, Cloister, pretty much, one-shots most things, is basically the thing we're gonna get from this set. With a Shell Smash. If I could get fortunate enough to get to +2, or get 2 Shell Smashes up, we're gonna be in business, because I will definitely outspeed everything that's not priority, and I will definitely be one-shotting everything except maybe Empoleon. I think I one-shot everything else. But that's you know, pipe dream. But even still, 1 Shell Smash is enough to basically one-shot almost everything. Again, depending on investment. But basically everything that doesn't resist is gonna either get finished off or one-shot by +2 Cloister. Alright, let's move on to our Suicune here. The one thing with Suicune here is I have another standard Suicune set with Scald, Calm Mind, and then Rest, Sleep, Talk again instead of the substitute Protect, I think it was, that we had last week. This is the moveset we had 2 weeks ago. But 244 HP, 228 defense, 4 special attack, 28 special defense, 4 speed, again being Bold Nature. The only thing kind of iffy here, I don't know if it's iffy, I mean, I'm going to talk to Frenzy more about it, but the only thing kind of unfortunate here is that most of his main attackers are physical attackers. And yes, I'm Bold Nature with mostly defensive investment, but I have no way to boost my physical defense from here. I can just boost my special defense, which really only helps against Mismagius, Whimsicott, and Galvantula, 2 of which I'm weak to. I mean, it technically helps, I guess, against Empoleon, depending on the set. Empoleon, depending on if it's a utility set, but Empoleon will probably have special attacks versus physical attacks. Basically, though, Suicune can come in on Empoleon pretty much for free, and then use that turn to either set up or scald something. So, that's the first off the top of my head thing that Suicune can do. Suicune can also, Suicune is not, if nothing is boosted, Suicune is not one-shot by anything that's neutral or resisted. Super effective hits, yeah, I gotta worry about Galvantula, gotta maybe random Energy Ball from Whimsicott, maybe Thunderbolt from Mismagius, but I believe, I should be good on Crobat, good on Empoleon. I haven't checked Crobat's, like, a Z Brave Bird, but I should be good on Mamoswine. Haxorus is a little iffy because I really can't stay on Haxorus. I don't really scare Haxorus out unless I fake having, like, Ice Beam or something. But I can come in on Empoleon and potentially scald something for free, or get a Calm Mind up, depending on who he brings and what the whole situation is. I can come in on Mamoswine, depending on the situation, get a Scald for free, because I don't think it wants to stay in on a Scald. Victini. I don't know that I come in on Victini for free. Maybe. I mean, on a Fire-type move, most likely, but I don't know about a Psychic-type move. But anyway, I come in and scald things, basically, is what I can come in and do. And if I do get the chance to be boosted, then so be it. The best thing to boost on, it depends on the sets. If Mismagius doesn't pack, like, Thunderbolt or anything like that, or Thunder, then maybe Mismagius is the thing to set up on. Actually, Empoleon is the best thing to set up on, but it depends on who else he has left. It might not be worth investing in a bunch of Calm Minds, or even one Calm Mind. If he's gonna just bring in Galvantula next turn, I'd just be better off going for Scald right off the bat. Just get damage on things, which is also, you know, important. But anyway, standard Suicune set, not too much changes with Suicune. You know what it is. I can potentially pretend I have Ice Beam, maybe, for Haxorus, but other than that, nothing unusual. Alright, Reptar, we're bringing our Mega for the first time in, what, 3 weeks, is it? Maybe 2 weeks, I don't remember anymore. This set is, more on the defensive side, mostly especially defensive set, as you can see. We got, Careful Nature. We got, 244 HP, 4 attack, 44 defense, 212 special defense, 4 speed. The Stealth Rock is on Tyranitar here, which makes me think it could be a potential lead. I don't know. Leading with the Mega seems kinda... maybe depends on what he would bring. Earthquake and Stone Edge do a lot of damage to things. Pursuit could catch Mismagius, or catch anything else in that doesn't want to be in on me. Probably the only thing worth using Pursuit on, though, would be Mismagius. Or, not even Victini. Not that I... no. In this scenario, well, it depends on Victini's moveset. If Victini has a fighting move, does it get Superpower? I can't remember now. Probably not, actually. Superpower is usually for bigger Pokemon. I don't remember. Depending on its set, though, I guess I could come in on Victini and scare it out. Get a free, actually getting a free Pursuit on Victini could be possible, depending on its moveset. That's actually not a terrible idea. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna have to look over Victini's moves again and double check its coverage. But I take a lot of hits. I don't get one shot by too much. Of course, I don't want to swap in on Stoutland if it has Superpower or Mega Heracross for the close combat. I think most everything else that's not a fighting type move, I can technically come in on once if I want to. Now, granted, the stats are a little weird. If I don't get a clean switch in, I'm swapping in actually regular Tyranitar on something and not Mega Tyranitar, so probably I only want to bring Tyranitar out on a clean switch. And again, I might want to lead just to get the Stealth Rock up. It really depends. It really depends on the scenario. I'm not 100% sold on that. As you're going to see at the end, I might want to lead Cobalion, because I have pivot opportunity there, but we'll see. This set, anything else I need to say about it? Stone Edge does a lot of damage to a lot of things. Because of my low, not a lot of attack investment, this thing does not really one-shot most things. But again, if I play well to get chip damage on things, to get Stealth Rock damage on things, or Spikes damage, or just general chip damage from like Suicune scalding things as they come in, or anything else, or Volt Switch damage from Cobalion, I could clean up. Tyranitar has the ability to clean up. And let's see. My music got a little bit loud, so just in case it is loud for you guys, I'm going to lower it a little bit. Because I'm not speaking up much this time, I don't think. Alright, anything else? Yeah, but basically, the general calculations I've done, and again, not necessarily against dedicated walls with max defense and max HP, but just general, some of these sets, doing around 50 to 60% to most things with these moves. Yeah, the Pursuit Trap potentially on Victini and Mismagius is a thing. Stone Edge does damage to a lot of things. Stone Edge makes Crobat unhappy, Stone Edge makes Victini unhappy, makes Galvantula unhappy. Earthquake, just generally good damage. Again, makes Victini unhappy, makes Empoleon unhappy. Gigalith, I don't know, Gigalith kind of eats physical hits, but it does semi-decent damage. It's about as good of a physical hit I can get. Alright, let's move on to Lando. We have 140 HP, 180 attack, 52 defense, 4 special defense, and 132 speed. Jolly Nature. We're rocking the Flyinium Z. That Z-Fly, I always get scared of Z-Fly because of the fact that once your Z move's gone, it's like, you don't really want to use a move slot on Fly unless it's a 1v1 and you know the other Pokemon doesn't have Protect or something like that. But, or a boosting move, for example. But we got Rock Polish on here. We got, interestingly, Gravity. Because we only have 2 Pokemon here that are immune to ground-type moves. But if we get Gravity up, pretty much everything except for... yeah, everything except for Heracross and Whimsicott is going to cry to get hit by an Earthquake. But the Flyinium Z, Z-Fly, of course, destroys Mega Heracross. If I could land a regular Fly, it would destroy Mega Heracross, but you know, that doesn't happen. Z-Fly does pretty good damage all around. If I'm in a tight spot, Lando's gonna die, I need to nuke something, I can do that as well. I'm trying to remember what set it was, if this set outspeeds anything. Now, I think the ones I was doing was 1 Shell Smash on Cloyster. I definitely outspeed anything not Scarfed. And then I think it was gonna be Cobalion that outsped the rest. I need to compare the speed on this one as well. I did outspeed something, and I can't remember what. Well, of course, Rock Polish would ensure. I think after 1 Rock Polish... let me double check on Rock Polish. It raises speed by 2. Okay, so after 1 Rock Polish, I believe I do outspeed most things. Now, what would be something to set up on? Potentially could set that up on Crobat. I could potentially set that up on Galvantula, provided it's not rocking a random Hidden Power Ice, which it could, you never know. I could probably set that up on Gigalith, although I have to be a little bit careful there. I mean, if I get the Intimidate off, then yeah. I don't know if I could set it up on Mismagius. I don't know if I could set it up on Stoutland. Stoutland could rock Ice Fang, actually, now that I think about it. Mega Heracross, I'm not sure, but that is one thing I wanted to mention. This set, after 1 Intimidate, I don't get one-shot by anything physical. Well, except Mamoswine, I think, because, you know, ice. But as for anything else that's neutral, or even, well, definitely anything that's neutral. I don't get one-shot by anything. Do I even? No, I don't. No, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't live a hit from Mamoswine, but I live a hit, at least 1 hit from everything else after an Intimidate. Everything physical. But yeah, pretty much it'd be interesting. Come to think of it, I don't know if you can even use Fly when Gravity's up, but again, it wouldn't be regular Fly, it would be Z-Fly, so it should be fine, but I've never tried Gravity before. This is obviously a Frenzy set. It'd be interesting to see if I could pull that off. If I'm in a scenario where I could set up, like, Crobat comes in, I either just go for the Rock Polish right off the bat, maybe, and then Gravity, and then just Earthquake things. I don't know, it depends on the scenario. There's some interesting options that I could play around with there. But probably want to save this for Heracross because of the Z-Fly. If I can get a Rock Polish up, it'll be better. I should outspeed... I'll have to check what Mega Heracross does at max speed, but I should outspeed Mega Heracross. Definitely will outspeed Mega Heracross after a Rock Polish, of course. But yeah, that's about it. So, in keeping with the Intimidate pattern going on here, we have a double Intimidate. We're bringing back Dreidel to Hitmontop. I believe Hitmontop, except maybe Victini, because of, obviously, as Stab super effective, but, Crobat as well. I think everything else, after an Intimidate, I live everything else. This set is Adamant, with 196 HP, 236 attack, 68 defense, 4 special defense, 4 speed. Close Combat, Rapid Spin, Aerial Ace, Stone Edge. This spread, as far as I remember with the general calculations, is not really designed to one-shot anything. However, it does. Everything is 2-shot damage range. Pretty much everything significant out of these moves. And so again, the idea here is with chip damage, this could be enough to finish everything off. Or if I have rocks up, even so, like, do a lot of damage, and then they can't switch back in because of rocks, things like that. And of course, hazard removal. Webs will be annoying if he gets webs up, and of course he can set rocks. He only has rocks and webs as a hazard option, so like toxic spikes aren't a deal. I have to, you know, you always have to worry about regular toxic on things. And that's where, if someone's poisoning or statusing, that's where I bring in Suicune if I can, because of because of rest. But yeah, I mean, Aerial Ace gets really close to one-shotting Mega Heracross, and I can live one hit for Mega Heracross after an Intimidate. One of anything after an Intimidate, provided it doesn't Swords Dance back up, of course. But definitely, if it's at -1, I live any one thing, and Aerial Ace does enough, definitely does enough to finish it off after rocks, depending on spread, I should say. But for the most part, this, like I said, these moves, they don't one-shot things, but if things have gotten chip damage, it generally finishes off everything else. And that Intimidate and Rapid Spin are the utility there to ensure that we're getting rid of hazards, and we're living most physical hits that are unboosted after an Intimidate. Alright, let's move on to Cobalion. This is actually Cobalion's debut this season. I've been wanting to use Cobalion for a while. It hasn't really gelled with any of the teams so far that I've put together. So in this case, Frenzy threw it on the team. I think he was looking at Cobalion or Tangrowth. Cobalion in this set is mostly offensive. It's timid, Choice Scarf of course, as you can see, with 20 HP, 4 defense, 252 special attack, so we're maxing it out. 72 special defense, no, not 72, that's his base. It's 36 special defense. It helps if I look at the right thing, right? And 196 speed. This guaranteed outspeeds everything on my opponent's team that is not Scarfed. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I haven't checked max speed Crobat, but I feel like it depends. I mean, if he wants to speed creep Cobalion, maybe Scarf Cobalion, but Crobat is kind of so fast it doesn't necessarily need full speed investment. But generally speaking, I outspeed everything. And you know, I was just looking at things that are naturally faster than Cobalion on his team. You have Crobat and Whimsicott, and then Galvantulus tie. But I thought about something in Whimsicott because Whimsicott, of course, gets Prankster, and I have to remember that even though Tyranitar is weak to both of Whimsicott's stab moves, Tyranitar is not necessarily a bad switch-in on Whimsicott, because being Dark type nullifies Prankster. And I have to get used to that, because that's a more recent, like, thing, kind of a nerf to Prankster in Gen 7 that I haven't had much experience with, but pretty useful. So that is something to keep in mind. I'm just going to mention it here so that I've said it. Oh, Stoutland can also get Intimidate. I forgot about that. Intimidate, Sandrush, and Scrappy. It doesn't have anything to run Scrappy against me. It's going to be Sandrush or Intimidate. Sandrush, if he brings Gigalith, is very likely. He has pretty good synergy, Sand synergy, with if he has Stoutland, Gigalith, Empoleon, and Mamoswine. So that's pretty likely. I could see that for sure. Anyway, going back to this set, we got Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Volt Switch, Thunder Wave. Yeah, having the Scarfed Thunder Wave, I guess, is a little odd. But Thunder Wave, like, helps to neuter everything except for Galvantula and Mamoswine, so that could be useful. Again, if webs get up and somehow they're up for good, I could just Thunder Wave something, kind of help even the odds down a little bit. But this is why I'm thinking Cobalion would be a pretty good lead. Of course, I have to, Mamoswine shuts this down, but other than that, I can Volt Switch on anything. And, again, outspeed Volt Switch on anything. Anything that's not Scarfed, of course, anything that doesn't use priority. And let me think, were there any other notes on that? Focus Blast does a lot to Mamoswine and Gigalith. And was it anything else? And Empoleon. Flash Cannon hits Mamoswine decently, hits Gigalith okay, hits Whimsicott. And Volt Switch again is just there for pivoting. I guess it hits Crobat okay. And yeah, again, the Volt Switch is gonna... What I'm hoping is the Volt Switch gets chip damage off on things, and then Suicune coming in and scalding things that come in gets chip damage off on things, so then Cloyster can definitely clean up. If I get the proper opportunity, if a couple of things get knocked out and I have a good opportunity to come in, clean on Cloyster, and just get one Shell Smash up and go, I can definitely do some scary work with Cloister. But yeah, that's the team. I don't know. Somehow I always ramble enough. I didn't think I had too much to talk about on this team, but I was kind of just going over the notes on this team. This is a tough draft to fight this week. This team's gonna be tough this week, and all the stuff going on for me this week. Like I said, I'm not too many expectations. I mean, we're like dead even with. I'm pretty sure we're 2-2 at +0. Spoilers, but I'm pretty sure we're dead even right now. So we've been doing a perfectly balanced job this season. But yeah, this one I know this one's gonna be a tough match. So that's all I'll say about that. Of course, we're gonna do our best. No excuses. We're gonna do our best anyway. We're gonna do the best with these sets. But yeah. Yeah, I just know this is gonna be. Well, I guess I can't say I know. I very much expect this to be a tough match. It depends on what he brings compared to what I bring. Of course, depends on the moves we make. But yeah, this is a tough team. So I'll be surprised if. I mean, I expect this to be. It'll definitely be an interesting match. So be sure not to miss it. Be sure like this video, of course. Leave a comment, show your Orlando Solgaleo pride. But subscribe if you don't want to miss. These team builders go up the day before the match, so if you're watching this the day this goes live, the next one, the match will be tomorrow at noon US Eastern time. Yeah, that about does it. I've said all I need to say. It's gonna be a tough match. I expect it to be a tough match, but we're gonna do our best. Like I said, no excuses. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for PGBL Season 4, Week 5, your Orlando Solgaleo versus the Scandinavian Stoutlands. I'll see you then.